Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving deep into a really fascinating natural nootropic, the lion's mane mushroom. This isn't some new fad. It's an ancient remedy that's now becoming a modern powerhouse for boosting your brain.
So let me ask you something. What if you could just slice through that afternoon brain fog? Get that laser-like focus, but without all the jitters you get from too much coffee. And what if you could do all that with just one simple habit that actually helps your brain build new connections? I mean, it sounds pretty amazing, right? Especially when feeling burnt out seems to be the new normal.
So what's the big deal with lion's mane? Well, it makes some pretty bold promises. By the time we're done here, you're going to understand the actual science behind how it can help stimulate nerve growth, really sharpen your mind, and even to help stabilize your mood. So let's break down how we're going to get there.
Okay, here's the game plan. First, we'll take a quick trip back in time to look at its ancient roots. Then, and this is super important, I'm going to give you a quality checklist so you know you're getting the real deal. After that, we'll get into the cool science of how it works, and finally, we'll put together a simple daily ritual you can start using right away. Let's get into it.
First up, ancient roots. It's really important to get this part because lion's mane isn't some new age trend. It's a seriously powerful tool that has a history stretching back for centuries. For centuries, it was a huge deal in traditional Chinese medicine, used for promoting overall vigor and vitality. But it gets even cooler than that. We're talking ancient Buddhist monks who would brew it into a tea because they were convinced it was the secret to unlocking this deep, profound focus during their long meditation sessions. And what's wild is that now, today, modern science is actually starting to prove them right.
And that is where this mushroom gets its incredible name. The monks believed it gave them powers of concentration and a memory like a lion. It's just a perfect example of how ancient wisdom kind of paved the way for what we're discovering with science today.
So, you're probably thinking, okay, this sounds pretty great, but how do you make sure you're not getting ripped off? Well, that brings us to our quality checklist. And you're going to want to pay close attention here, because if you make the wrong choice, you could literally just be buying expensive, flavored starch.
This right here is the single most important thing you need to understand. On one side, you have the fruiting body. That's the actual real mushroom, the part that looks like a mane. It's packed with all the good stuff. On the other side, you have mycelium on grain. That's just the root system, but it's grown on a cheap filler like rice or oats. The final product ends up being mostly useless grain. So the takeaway, you always want the one that says fruiting body.
Okay, so here it is, your simple three-step quality checklist. Number 1, the label must say 100% fruiting body. No exceptions, no excuses. 2, look for the words dual extraction. This is a big one. It's a special process using both hot water and alcohol to basically unlock all the active compounds so your body can actually use them. And 3, go for organic and lab tested. You got to remember, mushrooms are like little sponges. They soak up everything from their environment, including toxins, so you need proof that what you're getting is clean.
All right, so you know how to buy the good stuff. Now for the really cool part. Let's get into the science of what lion's mane is actually doing inside your brain.
The secret sauce here, it all comes down to something called nerve growth factor, or NGF for short. And this protein is absolutely vital. It's responsible for the maintenance, the survival, and even the regeneration of our neurons, our brain cells. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like this. NGF is basically fertilizer for your brain. And what's so incredible about lion's mane is that it contains these unique compounds that are actually small enough to cross the blood-brain barrier, which is super selective. And once they're inside, they tell your brain to start making more of its own NGF. So you're essentially helping your brain grow and repair its own networks. How cool is that? So what does this brain fertilizer actually do for you? Well, a lot. The benefits are pretty profound. We're talking enhanced memory and learning capabilities, a kind of neuroprotective shield against cognitive decline, better mood regulation, less anxiety, and it can even help with nerve repair throughout your entire body. Okay, so you've got your hands on a high-quality product. You totally get the science behind it. So what's next? Let's get practical and move to our final section, building your own daily rituals so you can use it effectively. All right, so you have two main ways to go here. The easiest, by far, is the powder extract. You just stir about half a teaspoon or so into your morning coffee, tea, or smoothie. Super simple. But if you're a bit of a foodie, you've got to try the fresh mushroom. The trick is to sauté it in a dry pan first, let it release all its water, and then add a healthy fat like butter or olive oil. The texture is wild. It's really similar to crab or lobster. But hold on. Before you go out and try it,
I want to talk about the #1 mistake that people make when they start with lion's mane. What do you think it is?
It's inconsistency. Look, you have to remember, this is not like a cup of coffee. You're not going to feel an instant jolt. Lion's mane is all about long-term structural changes in your brain. The benefits are cumulative, meaning they build up over time. You really need to commit to taking it every single day for at least 2 to 4 weeks before you'll start to feel that real, sustained lift in focus and clarity.
All right, here's a little pro tip if you really want to get the most out of it. Try this simple booster stack. Take your daily dose of lion's mane and pair it with a source of vitamin C, like a squeeze of lemon juice, which helps with absorption. Then, add a healthy fat, like some olive oil or MCT oil, to help transport its fat-soluble compounds. It's a super simple way to get more bang for your buck.
Okay, let's talk safety for a second, because this is obviously really important. A standard dose for the extract powder is usually somewhere between 500 to 1,000 milligrams a day. And it probably goes without saying, but if you have mushroom allergies, you should definitely avoid this. Also, because it can have a mild blood-thinning effect, it's a good idea to stop taking it about 2 weeks before any planned surgery. And finally, as always, if you're pregnant, nursing, or managing a condition like diabetes, please check with your doctor first.
So, at the end of the day, whether you're looking for that competitive edge at work or just a greater sense of calm in your daily life, lion's mane offers a really compelling option. Which leaves me with one final question for you to think about. Are you more interested in that sharp, brain-boosting focus, or is it the support for your mood and anxiety that really speaks to you? Something to consider as you explore the potential of this incredible mushroom.